All right, welcome to lecture 3 in learning how to code in RStudio. So in the last lecture, we went over the mutate function, we went briefly into the select function, and this time we're going to be going into the filter function, which is very important for tackling all these giant data sets you're going to get thrown at you and just making them easy and understandable to look at. So if you haven't watched the 2 previous videos, go ahead and watch those because that's how you can get everything we have here. If you did watch the 2 previous ones, just a quick recap from the last one. We took our players.csv file, which should be in your working directory. For me, it's in my stats folder down here. And we got it into RStudio. And then we took that, and then basically I showed you how you can use the select command to isolate certain columns. In this case, we wanted to delete certain ones, and we didn't really have a reason for deleting them. It was just delete them and then recreate them. And the recreating them is the main part that we did with the mutate function. And that's what's going to be very important going forward. And you're definitely going to see that a lot, especially when you're doing your own stuff. So the filter function. We have this giant thing, our player underscore stats file. There's so much here, so much useful stuff too. This is a great file. We've got position, games. I'm assuming that's game started, minutes played. We have a lot. We got defensive stats, everything. There are some useless things though, like birthplace. We probably don't need to know for whatever we're doing. These columns are like glitched. Those shouldn't even be there. But we're never really going to need all of this at once unless you're trying to make the formula for the perfect player and you need to include every aspect, which is probably not going to happen. You only need to look at a few specific things. And if you remember from last time, when you need to isolate things, that is what the select filter or the select command is for. So before we use the filter command, we're going to just pick a few columns for whatever we want to do. The first thing I think we should look at is just 3 pointers. So whatever that means, we're going to be looking at 3 pointers from, let's look at like players, because you need to know who the player is, the position, how many 3-pointers they made, 3-pointers attempted. We'll say their 3-point percentage, and then throw in the 6th column, their total points. Why not? So let's do that. So let's call our new file 3 pointers. And as you can see, I already kind of made one, but that's fine. So 3 pointers is going to be, we're going to use select, then we're going to use our previous data frame, player underscore stats, which we're taking everything from. And then we want to use the player column, which is right over here. We want to use the position column. And it's important that you just write out POS because position isn't actually position. Coding has to be exact. It's not like ChatGPT working and just kind of infer stuff. You got to be exact. So we're going to use PO. Is it capital? It's undercase. So POS. Then we're going to get these 2 3-point ones. And if you remember, right under your escape button, whenever I see a number, I like to use this 3P and then 3PA. And then we wanted to use our 3-point percentage. And then finally points, which is PTS on this file. And these little things, sorry, I don't remember the name, but I just like to use them whenever I'm dealing with a number just to make sure there's no problems. Normally there won't be, but I don't remember and I like to be careful. Anyway, 3 pointers. Let's go ahead and run that command. Now let's look ahead and see what we actually have with 3 pointers. And now, voila. We have our player, position, 3 pointers, 3 pointers attempted, 3-point percentage, and total points per game. Or total average points per game. Whatever. 6 columns that can all actually be useful to what we want. So, let's filter this down. Right now, we have players who, they attempted, Mark Williams attempted 0 3-pointers a game. We don't want players that attempted 0 3-pointers a game if we're doing 3-pointers. Like, that's just going to be irrelevant. So this is where the filter command comes in. So first, we want our output, which is going to be 3 pointers again. Then we're going to use filter. Then 3 pointers, which is where we're getting all this data from. And now, what did I say? I said we wanted 3 pointers attempted. Yep. So we're going to do 3PA. And now we want our 3 pointers attempted to be greater than or equal to, let's say 3. I don't know. I don't have a number in mind. 3. If we run that, then we go ahead and view 3 pointers. Now you can see there's nobody who attempted less than 3 pointers on here, but we still have 356 people. And just so you know, everything that I'm saying is per game. It's at least I'm almost positive, because I'm assuming Josh Giddey. I'm assuming Josh Giddey didn't only attempt 3 pointers, 3 3-pointers, but yeah, it's per game. So next, that eliminated like a third of the people here, but that's really not enough. We still have 356 people to deal with. We still have people who averaged way under a 3-pointer a game. We don't really want to deal with that too much. So let's take out all our players who aren't just going to be scoring as much in general. So let's go with points. Let's say we only want players who are averaging 15 points per game. And we'll run that code. And now we have 131 people left. And that's much more manageable. And if we were to plot this, that would be something that we could actually look at and be like, oh, I can understand that. It's not just a clump of people on the lower end. So, from there, what else can we do? Well, let's say we don't want to maybe isolate a position. We don't want to further. I think 15 points is a good benchmark. 3-point. Maybe we say, maybe we'll raise the 3-pointers they had to attempt a game just to like 4, just to cut out these guys at the bottom. And let's do that. So 3-pointers attempted to 4. And now 117. You know, I kind of wanted to get it closer to 100. But this will do. And this is what we're going to use going forward for a bit. So, yeah, that's it for this video. But as long as you got here, that's great. And if you want to go around and test on your own, you could try the exact same thing, but with 2-point percentage. And like you could adjust these numbers to whatever you want to try to get exactly 100 people in the data frame left. So that's all for this. Hopefully that kind of shows how the filter command works better.